Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 8, Chapter 30. Become the Lord's Flute. The incarnation of Krishna was in order to propagate the sacred Dharma, which will lead man to the holiness he has to attain to, and to teach the manner and content of the efforts he has to put forth. Krishna, the divine principle, is born in the navel of everyone, and has to be transported to the tongue and fostered there, as was done by Yashoda, with maternal care and love. That is the secret of salvation by Namasmarana. In order to save man, the Lord appeared in a most charming form, so that he could draw his heart in love. Raso Vaisa. He is sweetness itself, so Krishna easily steals the hearts of even the most hard-hearted individuals. He is the Pada Chitta Chor, the greatest thief of hearts. The heart yearns for his voice, his form, his flute, his smile, his sport and his pranks. That is the tapas, penance, which is rewarded by his grace. The yearning is so deep that all body consciousness is lost. The senses are ineffective and the mind is inactive. The intelligence is at a standstill. Ideas of duality disappear. The individual sees before him only step after step of Ananda, leading him to the highest bliss of merging in him. The culture of Bharat has marked out the guidelines for achieving this bliss. It is the consummation of all sweetness, all the joy, all the fulfillment of all the highest desires. But yet, man is struggling to achieve petty things, paltry joys and low desires. When you seek God, you must not be misled into bypaths and mirages. The seeker after gold must cast away brass and other yellow metals that may distract him and destroy him. Like the river which leaps over precipices, creeps through bush and briar, flows around hills, seeps through sand but keeps the goal, the sea, always in view, man too must march untiringly towards God. To secure anything, you have to pay the price. Relief from discomfort can be got only when the unwelcome item of food that has gone in is got rid of. So too, one can achieve relief from grief only when the unwelcome emotions of hate and malice are ejected from the mind. Until then, one cannot have peace. Of course, Krishna has declared that he will bear the burdens of those who have no other thought except his. Many of you lose heart because you have been repeating Krishna, Krishna for years, but your burdens have not lightened. But to secure anything, you have to pay the price. Krishna came down in order to establish Dharma, so the thing he likes most is Dharma. Walk in the path of Dharma, that is the price he will accept. The flute is his favorite, so become a flute, hollow, devoid of desires, straight, with no crookedness, and he will accept you. Think of the sublimely sweet love that Krishna was evoking in the hearts of those who had the good fortune to be his contemporaries. Every one of them, from the unlettered cowherd to the most profound scholar and sage, was drawn to him as by a magnet and held by him in unshakable devotion. Whatever the troubles and hardships that came upon them, they did not give up his lotus feet, to which they clung ever fast and firmly. As you walk along the road, your shadow follows you, through dirt and dust, bush and bramble, mound and midden, brook and boulder. But note how the shadow has constant contact with the feet. So long as the shadow, man, has fast and firm contact with the feet of the substance, the Lord, no hardship can affect him. Hold on to the Lord. That is the way to peace and joy. The essence of man is divine. Krishna is slandered by ignorant and prejudiced critics as Jara and Chora, and extolled by seekers and sages with the same appellation. Jara and Chora, he stole the hearts, and the owners were glad of it. He shed light, awakened people, and made those whose hearts he stole richer and happier. He destroyed all cravings for sensual pleasure and sensual knowledge, and filled the entire being with thoughts of the divine. How then can he be referred to as Jara and Chora? When the blind lead the blind, both have to fall into the pit. The Lord takes the form that the seekers crave for. He is above all name and form. Children go to the sweet shop and select sweets representing the animals they love. Some ask for the dog, some the peacock, some the horse, some choose the elephant. But what they desire is the sweetness therein. To say that one form alone can be sweet is to deny the compassion of God. He is eager to satisfy the yearning of the genuine seeker. Vishnu, whose incarnation is Krishna, is said to ride on a bird called Garuda. In fact, it is the heart of man that is spoken of as a bird. The heart yearns. It carries the thought of God. It moves swiftly to where He is. If your son is in the USA, your heart goes there to where he stays. Man turns to God at all times and in all places, for the essence of man is divine. Start the day with Naga Sankirtan. Someone asked me during the interview he had, "Swami, may I ask you a question?" I told him I always welcomed questions, for it was not wrong at all to use me for solving one's doubt. Then he asked me, "Swami, can I know from you who you are?" I answered, "But first you must know who you are. Learn first what you mean when you say I, I. That I is this I. The I in that is the same as this. The difference is due to the degree of manifestation of illumination, to the difference in the power of the bulbs. The Lord is closest to you. He is the mother, father, teacher, friend, guide and guardian. Call on Him and He responds immediately. From dawn to dusk, spend every minute in His company. That is the reason why I have directed every Sathya Sai organization to arrange for Naga Sankirtan in the pre-dawn Brahma Muhurtam. It is a mission of love and all will welcome it. It is a great act of social service to waken people with the name of God. It is a purificatory pilgrimage, casting off the foul fumes of anger and hate that infest the atmosphere. Moving slowly along the quiet streets in the cool, refreshing morning hours, singing aloud the name of God. With ecstatic thrill, filling the ears of your fellow men with the same. This is good sadhana, the best with which you can start the new day. This direction of mine is being enthusiastically followed in Bombay, Kerala, Madras, and other states, and even in the states of East Africa, which I visited last year. On this sacred day, resolve to spend the days with God, to fill the days with God. Prashanti Nilayam, August 19th, 1968. Like the donkey that carries sandalwood without knowing anything more than its weight, man too carries the burden of worldly worries, without being aware of the fragrance which he can really get from the very burden on his back. The censors will drag him away from the higher purposes, so they must be kept under strict control by rigorous training. Without this mastery over the senses, all the elaborate puja, ritual worship, all the hours of dhyana, meditation, all the vows you observe are mere mummery. Sri Sathya Sai Baba.